Hi everyone, this is Heather Smith with Storyville Photography, and today I'm going to show you how to achieve this Halloween inspired edit of my son. This is the before and this is the after. So the first thing you're going to want to do is have your image open into Lightroom, and I'm going to hit the Simplicity 1 preset. I'm going to pull my shadows all the way up, and then I'm going to push my temp slider to the right to warm it up a little to where my eye likes it. And the next thing I'm going to do is open it into Photoshop. Okay, now that we're in Photoshop, the first thing I want to do is crop this image in a little bit. To do that, I'm going to hit Command A to select it. And then I'm going to go up to Selection, Transform Selection, and I'm going to just move it in a little bit. A little bit more. We have all this extra space around the edges and I don't want it. Just want to focus in on my cutie there. Hit the check mark and then go to Image, Crop, and it will take it in. The next thing I want to do is make a copy of the background layer. So I'm going to select the background layer, hit Command J, and then I'm going to go up to Filter, Camera Raw Filter. Size that in so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, and then I'm going to go to the preset icon, come down here to Black Velvet 1 and hit OK. I love to stack presets, guys. As you can see in Lightroom, I did the Simplicity, and then I went ahead and stacked the Black Velvet right on top there, and it just makes this like magical, like cartoon smooth feel. I don't know, I just love it. And as you can see, it kind of took on a blue tint, so I'm going to go into my adjustments, hue and saturation. I'm going to go into my blues and desaturate that completely. So that's the before and after with that. Next thing I want to do is come over to my actions panel and hit the ultimate dodge and burn, play. And I'm going to actually start with the environment. Normally I work on the clothing and work my way up, but I'm going to go into the environment and I'm going to hit the dodge and burn combo. Make sure I have a soft white brush, 100% opacity, and I'm just going to start dabbing that on areas. I love this combination so much. It dodges and burns at the same time, and it just makes life really easy. I like to start with that first, and then I can go in and do just dodging or just burning where I'd like. That's a little bit too bright, so just a little bit on his head there. That should do the trick. On the pumpkins. And these little poison and hexes. Eyeball. I just love Halloween, guys. I don't know about you. Your imagination can just go crazy. It's the best. And now I'm going to do some extra burning, but I know that I'm going to want a few layers of that, so I'm just going to hit Command J a couple times. So for the extra burn, I want to go ahead and just align the fireplace and the logs and under here. Okay, and then I'm going to grab another burn and I'm going to come over here on the floor, a little bit on the windows. We're actually going to darken those with black, so this is probably an unnecessary step. Darken the fireplace yet again. We want it super dark. And then one extra time. And we're not done yet, but this is the before and after so far. I'm going to come into the extra dodge, and I'm going to make an extra copy of that. Oops. Command J. And I'm also going to use the soft white brush, brighten the sky. Need to do it to him twice, really make him stand out. And that looks good. Maybe bring out some of the details in this candlestick. And I need to dodge these guys a couple times as well. So if you're doing this for a client or printing, I suggest you spend a lot of time so you don't have halos. I, on the other hand, have already done this, so I'm not going to spend too much time masking. That will just bore you guys. Try and make this as quick as possible. There we go. And then I would dodge them again, really make them stand out. And you can really do it as many times as you would like. Or you can just do it all at once and then hit Command J and it will duplicate your selection there. I'm going to just dodge the rug just ever so slightly. And that looks good to me for the dodging and burning. This is the before and after. And the next thing I want to do, close that up, is darken the windows and the fireplace even more. So I'm going to have a new layer, and I'm going to have a soft black brush, 100% opacity, and this is going to look really bad at first, guys, but bear with me. It'll look a lot better once I'm done with the cobwebs and all these distractions are going to be gone. Again, take your time if you're doing this for a client or printing. I'm just going to kind of rush through it. Okay. My masking is just terrible there, but you get the gist. And then I'm going to get rid of this flooring over there and then darken the fireplace. And I think I'm going to have to actually go back into my dodge and burn to make this fireplace pop a little bit more, the wood. So I'm going to go into the extra burn and just keep my soft white brush, go over it, and then hit the extra burn copy that I made, and then maybe dodge it to really pull some of those highlights. There we go. And now I want to add a little bit of fire to this fire. My fireplace was on, but it really didn't grab the flames very well. So I went ahead and created a flame using the render option in Photoshop. So I'm going to hit Command A to select it, Command Copy, and then Command Paste, or Command V to paste it. I'm just going to kind of pull this in here. Make sure it's pulled above the black or you will not see it. And then I want to adjust the coloring. So I'm going to hit a hue and saturation layer, select the downward arrow so it's only going to affect the flame in there. Now it's a little bit more orangey and I just love that. Then I'm going to add another layer and I'm going to sample this flame color option and then click, and then it gives me like this orangey red fiery color. I went ahead and made a floating particle brush for the fire. I do not have this in the Storyville shop yet, but they're super easy to make. You can YouTube it, or eventually I might add one to the store. We will see. And I'm just going to dab around and resize it. And so much fun. So that's the before and after of that. Now my next step is adding some bats. I'm going to go back and I'm going to grab a black brush, come into my brush panel, and these I do have in the shop. I'm going to go to the Scattered Bats 3, and you can resize it with your brackets keys. I'm just going to flop some of those around, and then I'm going to come in to the Scattered Brushes. Which one is this? Let's see. The blurred one, to add a little bit of depth of field. Let me expand this a little bit more. Okay, and that looks good to me. And I'm going to add a layer mask. I'm going to grab a soft black brush, 100% opacity, and I'm just going to mask off the bats that where I don't want them, over him pretty much. And that looks good to me. That's the before and after. Looking at this now, I think one more time I need to go back into my Ultimate Dodge and Burn, and I'm going to do the extra dodge copy, grab a soft white brush, and kind of paint it along the fireplace to make it pop. And I can always come back and adjust it or tone it down if I want. But right now, I like it. So there we go. Maybe a little bit, sorry guys, I should have done this all at once, the dodging and burning, but that's the wonderful thing about the action. You can just keep going back. Make some of that stand out. Okay. Now, tone it down just a little bit. Okay. Moving on. The next thing I want to do is grab a texture. So I am going to pull up my Urban Texture 9. You can also find this over in the shop. And I'm going to expand it, the size of the image. Change the blending mode to soft light. And I'm going to duplicate that, Command J. And then I'm going to group it. So I'm going to hold the shift down, select that, group it, add a layer mask, and I'm going to mask it off of my sun. And this is the before and after. And now we are going to move on to the cobwebs. I absolutely love these brushes. They just add so much to the image. I'm going to add a new layer mask, make sure my brush is white, and they might not be dead on as the original. I can't quite remember what I used, but we're going to get as close as we can. So I'm going to grab the cobweb number 3, click it down, Command T to resize it. I'm just going to have that hanging off here. And if you want them darker, or to pop more, I should say, not darker, you can always hit Command J to brighten them up. In that case, I'm going to do it about 50%. And then I like to grab another blank layer because you're able to move them around if you keep doing different. Gosh, guys, I'm so out of it today. I'm sorry. It's good to put them all on their own layer so that you can adjust them accordingly. So the next one I want to do is, let's say, cobweb number 1. And I'm going to control, copy it, twist it around. Here we go. And I'm going to duplicate that layer to really make it pop. Then I'm going to go ahead and add another layer. We need something in the corner over there. So I am just going to go ahead and grab, oh, I don't know, maybe this one. Command T. Twist it around a little. And that looks good to me. And you can always add layer masks to these two guys. Just add the layer, and you can brush off areas that you don't want by using a soft black brush. I'm just going to brush some of this off where it's really thick right here. There we go. And that looks good to me. We're going to go in and maybe grab another cobweb brush. And I kind of want something small. Where did we go? There we go. Okay, I'm going to move that. This one I'm going to have to brighten up a little bit more. So just Command J, and there we go. And now I think I want to darken the image just a little bit more, but I want to do it under the cobwebs. So I'm going to scroll down. Pretty sure these are all cobwebs. Let me group them together. Okay, so below the cobwebs, I'm going to add a gradient. Make sure it's on black. And then I'm going to choose the gradient, radial, reverse, soft light. And then I like to put it at 0 and kind of work my way up to see where my eye likes it. About 85% looks good. And then I'm going to mask it off of my sun. Soft black brush, We're going to go with about 76% opacity. I might leave a little bit of it on him. There we go. And that looks good to me, before and after. I'm going to brush it off of this guy over here. There we go. He's kind of hidden back there. I didn't do the best job at masking, but that is okay for this. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to do, or I should say second to last thing I want to do, is make the candles glow. So to do that, I want to pull up my Ultimate Light Pack. And then I am going to drag and drop Sun number 2. Shrink it down. Set it to screen mode. And then for each of these, I am going, well, not for each, I am going to add a Gaussian blur on it. So you're going to want to go up to Filter, Blur, Gaussian blur, and then I have about 19 pixels on that. I'm going to copy it, Command J, Command T to move it, bring it over here, and I'm going to do that one more time, Command J, Command T to move it. There we go. And now the last thing I want to do is I'm going to add some particles, like dust particles floating around. So I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to come over here and I am going to select my floating particles brush. If you have the Apocalypse Walker pack, this brush is included in that. And then I'm just going to select the flame here. I might have to lighten it up. We'll see how it goes. And just kind of fling them around. And that looks good to me. Before and after. So this is where we started. And here is where we ended. Before and after. You can find most of these things that I used in here at www.storyvillephotography.com. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.